Malaysia is relaunching the Malaysia My Second Home program with relaxed net worth requirements. This is fantastic news to everybody watching who was not able to afford the previous program that had relaunched with quadrupled income requirements. The leadership of the country made a statement talking about how the previous income requirements have really hindered capital from flowing into Malaysia. Now they decided it is time to remove the income requirements altogether and offer different levels for people. I think this was a good decision. This was a sound decision. And like I said, many of you guys will be able to afford this program right now. They completely scrape the income requirement. You're no longer required to prove any sort of income. There are 3 different passes with different net worth requirements, and you may be able to qualify for at least one of them. So let's get started with the most expensive option, which is the Platinum Pass. And with the Platinum Pass, you can actually apply for permanent residency. It's a path to permanent residency. The net worth requirement is 5 million ringgit, is roughly $1,070,000. This amount, the 5 million ringgit, they must be placed in a fixed deposit account. After time, you can use 50% of that money for a real estate purchase or healthcare. The other 50% you cannot touch. This is the priciest package available right now. Chances are, unless you're a millionaire, you're probably not going to be able to afford this package. Like I said, what's interesting here is that this pass leads to permanent residency, which is something that a lot of people want these days. Permanent residency means security. It means more stability than just a pass. You can apply for the Platinum Pass if you are 30 years or older. So as you can see, before you had to be at least 35 years of age, now you have to be 30 years or older. Then 2, the Gold Pass, which is valid for up to 15 years. And to qualify for the Gold Pass, you have to deposit at least 2 million ringgit into a local bank account that must be a fixed deposit. As for the Platinum Pass, 50% of that money can be used for real estate purchase or healthcare. The other 50% you cannot touch it. 2 million ringgit is roughly $400,000. Now you might be thinking, I cannot afford any of these 2 options. Well, there is a third option. It is the Silver Pass. How you qualify for the Silver Pass is by making a fixed deposit of 500,000 ringgit. As for the other 2 options, you can withdraw 50% of that money later on for a real estate purchase or healthcare. The other 50% you cannot touch it. The age requirements are the same, but for the Silver Pass, it is valid for 5 years only. The Gold Pass is valid for 15 years. And as we talked about, the Platinum Pass leads to permanent residency. Why has Malaysia's leadership decided to do this, to reduce the requirements, to remove the income requirements, and to offer 3 different options? I think it's pretty clear that they want to focus on quality over quantity. They have achieved that by making it tougher during the past or the last relaunch. Now they relaunched it with more relaxed requirements, offering 3 different passes, targeting different demographics. Targeting different income levels. A fixed deposit of 500,000 ringgit sounds a lot more reasonable than a fixed deposit of 5 million ringgit. There's a big difference. However, the Silver Pass does not lead to permanent residency, which is something that a lot of expats and nomads are after these days. In case you cannot afford either of these passes, you always have more options. You can apply for a spousal visa. Of course, you have to be married to a Malaysian citizen, or you can get a student visa, which is one of the more popular ways to get into a country by spending the least amount of money possible while educating yourself about the language and the culture at the same time. And of course, you can also start a business. There is the MTEP program, the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Program. This is a program that helps startup entrepreneurs establish themselves in Malaysia. There are 2 options here. There is the 1-year pass, and it's pretty easy actually. You have to prove savings of 50,000 ringgit, which is roughly $10,000 right now. And this pass, the startup entrepreneur for a new entrepreneur, is valid for 1 year initially, and it can be renewed after a certain amount of time and after having shown progress with the company that you launched in Malaysia. Then there is the Established Entrepreneur Pass, which is valid for 5 years. And unlike the Startup Entrepreneur Pass, with the Established Entrepreneur Pass, you can bring dependents with you to Malaysia. However, in order to get the Established Entrepreneur Pass, you have to prove past business performance from a business located outside of Malaysia. They want to see what what kind of businesses you were running, how profitable they are, where. And if you can do that, then chances are you can qualify for the 5-year established entrepreneur pass. There's also an investor visa, but pretty steep requirements. So for the average person watching this video, this is not something that you might be interested in. And of course, you can always visit Malaysia on a tourist visa. People from Western countries, they get 90 days. They can leave the country, go back home, revisit, potentially get another 90 days. And citizens of some countries might even be able to get an extension while in Malaysia. You can also check out other countries like Paraguay, a country that offers a very easy to obtain residence permit, no income requirements. And this temporary residence permit in Paraguay leads to permanent residency. If you need any help with that, we'd be more than happy to help you. You can also look at the Philippines, where you can get a retirement visa by depositing money into a local account. There are options in place anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000, depending on qualifications that you're bringing with you to the table, whether you're having income or not. What's your take on the new Malaysia My Second Home program? Are you currently living in Malaysia? Do you have any questions about this video? Thank you for watching Nomad Elite. We appreciate you, and we see you on the next video.